Hi everyone, welcome back to the podcast and happy Saturday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend and your Saturday morning is productive. I know the work week is over, but Saturday and Sunday are 2 days where you get to catch up on your personal stuff, and your personal errands, and maybe spend some time reading a book like what I'm doing, or getting down to doing some research and seeing, okay, this week, what can I invest in and what can I do? In that hope, only last week I put up a video on IDFC Bank because there's a question that has been plaguing a lot of people about what's happening with this merger. And I thought we had answered quite a bit in that video, and there's really nothing left much to talk about it. But Dana spent 3 hours, editing it, and he had shared an Excel sheet, and we thought, okay, we're done. But strangely, Dana said a lot of you still have a lot of confusion about it, and he said a follow-up video is much needed because there's still a lot of people confused about this merger, and I can't understand what the confusion is. But first, let me clarify, we do not know when this is happening. Okay, it has just been approved, but it's a complicated process. When two large organizations are merged, assets have to be calculated, everything has to be worked out, so it's going to take some time. This is not like some cold press merger which our finance minister did to the Indian banks, the government banks, a couple of years back. It's not like that. This is very different, so it's going to take some time. The dates will be announced. When their dates are announced, we will definitely share it with you. Then, like in the Tata, after the date is announced, when the merger happens, the new shares getting allotted will be another date, which we will tell you when shared with us. And at that point of time, whatever tax implication comes out, how they plan to structure this merger, whatever information is shared with us, definitely we'll share it. All that information we do not have, and to talk about it will be pure speculation, and we'll be wasting your Saturday morning on something which is speculative, which I don't think is fair to you or Dana right now. So what do we still have left in the tank, Dana?
We are making the arbitrage video of the IDFC and IDFC First Bank. Like formulas you have been told to me that put in the Excel sheet, and I clearly mentioned that if you know this formula, you can apply to any of the arbitrage you can use for that. Basic arbitrage ratio I have been implemented, but some may have the doubts. IDFC First Bank or IDFC, which one is going to merge? So they are having that doubt. If they are owning 100 IDFC, 155 IDFC First Bank share will be credited to this account. So IDFC not traded in the share market. After that, IDFC First Bank only will be traded in the share market.
Yeah. So the way I suggest you guys look at this is drop IDFC from the First Bank. So say IDFC and First Bank. So that way there's no confusion. The problem you get into confusion is you're saying IDFC then IDFC First Bank. So you get confused because it's IDC and IDFC. So for your own mental thing, say you have IDFC, then you have First Bank. So IDFC is merging with First Bank, and there will only be First Bank after that date. What is going to get merged, dissolved is IDFC is going to disappear, and all that will be left is First Bank. Okay, that is all that will be left. So keep that in mind. So what you're going to see the arbitrage in, whatever money you're funneling into IDFC, when the conversion happens, that price variation is going to give you a bit of 3%, 4%, whatever the market that day is, it will give you that variation. And do realize something, this arbitrage, it's very close now. It's hardly 2-3%. So yeah. So if you invest into based on the arbitrage now, the gain which you're going to see is going to be very minimal. Yeah. And there is no guarantee from here on the date of merger, whenever that comes, that even that small gain you see is going to be maintained. For you to see some massive gain, there has to be some massive movement in any one of those shares. Unfortunately, that kind of massive movement, if it does happen, it will happen together in tandem because they're already linked. They're like this. So if one moves, if one moves, the other will move rapidly also. You saw this in Tata Motor DVR, where once it was announced, immediately they locked hands and it started moving together in unison. This is true with IDFC and First Bank. Both of them are moving in lockstep, so the arbitrage is very minimal, right? So focusing this deal purely on arbitrage is a waste of your time, and I would strongly suggest for 2-3%, you can definitely look at other things in the market. Meaning today Manappuram went down by 3% and then it went back up by 3%. So you can I mean, it's like that kind of nonsense. What is we're trying to calculate here? I strongly suggest we're not looking for gains in that, because you have to invest huge volume of money to profit over those 2-3%, and then you have to calculate capital gains and all that. I don't even see if it's worth that effort.
Correct, sir.
Okay, it can always be argued on a technicality, saying no, sir, you're wrong. Technicalities are always there, but I'm talking about my own personal experience. Will I do this for 2-3%? No, I don't think Dana will also waste his midnight oil for 2-3%. Spread.
No, sir. I'm also not wasting.
Yeah.
If we are converting into an example, if you are owning the 5 shares of IDFC, Then in the merger ratio of 155 divided by 100 into 5, if you are putting this calculation, 7.75 IDFC First Bank share will be credited. So the 7 shares will be in your account, 0.5 fractional shares will not be credited in your account, it will be credited in your bank account as a money.
This has happened with Tata Motors. Those of you who did the Tata Motors DVR would have already got a email from Tata Motors saying this many shares was credited into your account, Tata Motors, A class, whatever shares. Then this fraction was left, and this fraction on this price has been credited as cash into your bank account. And of course, all the tax details are also there. Yeah, it's mentioned in that mail, but you'll know that. Same way, on that day when this happens, First Bank will send out a mail to you saying, dude, your IDFC shares are gone. We did this. These are an amount of First Bank shares you're getting. And this is a small fraction which is left, which according to our calculation is so much of cash, which will be credited to your account. And there lies the matter. And realize something, that portion which will come as cash will always be a very small fractional amount. Because if it's one share, you'll get one share. So it will be something less than one share. So it will be anywhere 0.9, 0.8, 0.6, 0.7, is that anything lower to 0.2, whatever that fraction is. It will not be more than 1. So whatever that amount you get will be a very small negligible amount, because it will be less than 72 rupees or 73 rupees.
Like that.
Yeah. So it will be some 60 rupees or some 50
even 2
rupees.
rupees, 3 rupees.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all you're going to get. The rest will all be shares. So don't fixate on this fraction. What about the fraction? So fraction of 70 rupees, you can imagine what it will be.
Yeah, sir. And another example, if you are owning the IDFC First Bank shares right now also, no additional shares will be credited.
Correct. So what will happen? You'll immediately say, if I have IDFC first, nothing will. Because you're already on the ship which is not going to sink. The sinking ship, passengers are being rescued from the ship into the main ship, which is the First Bank. Everyone from IDFC is evacuated from Anjay. Why do you need to evacuate? You don't need to. You're already on the ship which is going to continue sailing. What you will get over a period of time is you'll get dividends and you'll get capital appreciation as the market appreciates First Bank shares.
Yes, and the final thing is, right now also IDFC is looking better. Even if you are calculating as a price to book is now at 1.3, but the median price to book at 1.1. Sir also tell IDFC is in a good value.
IDFC is still at value buy if you're looking at it in terms of investing. But arbitrage is too small.
Arbitrage is super.
Yeah, too small. So keep this in mind. From here on, you should only be talking about First Bank if you're looking at investing in the long term and you're trying to appreciate capital in the long term of 5 to 10 years. And anything other than that is not worth talking about. So this is what IDFC and First Bank is standing at. Do keep this in mind. Of course, confusion does happen. Even I get confusion. Even Dana gets confusion. So whenever you do get confusion, I suggest you bookmark this video and you can always replay it. And say anytime you get confused and you get bamboozled saying, wait, was he talking about IDFC or IDFC First Bank? Which one was he talking about? You can just say this video is bookmarked and just play it again, fast forward, scrub through it, and you'll get to the point where we have told you what it is and the clarification is there again. Right? So otherwise you can always write it down. Like Dana writes it in his pad, you can write it down in your book and keep it, and that way you'll remember it. But I think we have done and dusted IDFC, this arbitrage and this merger. I don't think there's any more further clarification we can offer in this.
For the clarification one video, in the comment section, there are many doubts. If you are clarifying this, and also many doubts are asked.
That's fair enough. Fair enough. But sometimes I feel maybe some of our viewers are not really watching the full video. Maybe that's possible. Maybe. Yeah.
So I think
they watch videos like how you watch my videos. You should see how Dana watches my videos. He's watching another video here and that's playing and he's like, what did sir say?
Just an example.
Yeah. We just
example.
Yes.
So watch this clearly to understand the arbitrage ratio, IDFC and IDFC First Bank. So It will be a clear explanation, I think.
So anyway, I feel that we have concluded our bit with IDFC and IDFC First Bank. And next video on Sunday morning, and Dana will brief us what we're going to discuss. What are we discussing in the next video, Dana?
Banking stocks, sir.
Oh, cool. So next video will be about banking stocks in general and what Dana has questions on those and which banks we will analyze further and dive into. That's tomorrow morning as you're recovering from your Saturday night revelries. We'll see you there. So thanks for watching the video as always. Do share this with friends and family who are confused about IDFC or, any acquaintances in your office who's worried about IDFC. You can share this video with them and I hope it eases their anxiety and they feel a little more relaxed. Other than this, if you are bought IDFC in a higher price and the arbitrage for you is in the negative. I do feel for you. If you want to exit, can exit. But do realize in the long haul, if you hold it for a long term, which is what me and Anand hope you do, any of your investments, you will be safe to say that you have recovered whatever you feel you have lost. So that said, do share, do like, do comment, and do catch Dana on the Instagram handle where he is available. You can ask him your questions there, and we'll do our best to get you answers to these questions. And we'll see you on Sunday morning.
I need to add one more point, sir.
Sure.
I think this video will have the more clarification of the arbitrage issue. Recollecting that past video we are making, that IDFC and IDFC merger video, you can analyze that. So in that Excel sheet, I have input some formula. Just pass that and write down in your paper or work out in your laptop Excel workbook. So it will be useful for you also.
Yeah, Dana's done gone above and beyond for you guys in this one. So much respect to Dana on this for doing that for you guys. Do go back to the old video and pull that Excel sheet down so you can save it and use it as you wish. And you can even share it amongst your friends.
If you are comparing the both video, it will be useful.
Yes. So that being said, we'll see you on Sunday morning soon. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.